Man mauled to death by lion after climbing over zoo wall. Damn, he wanted to train it. He just went in there without permission.
Bruh.
I thought probably, I don't know, probably a trainer or something like that. But he wasn't even given access to this.
Y.A.D Torture.
What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are doing good. Today, with a little video, we got Maury in the building. He entered a lion enclosure and found out. Hey man, this video has been circulating. Let's see what you got going on. Let's all enjoy the video.
Olha o menino. Eita caralho. Larissa. Esse cara vai fazer nada, eu posso não.
Porra nenhuma, mano. Olha espremendo lá os pés dele lá.
Meu Deus do céu. Ai, meu Deus.
And that's where I have to pause the video. And ladies and gentlemen, apparently this was a 19-year-old man who was mauled to death by a lioness at a zoo in Brazil after he snuck into her enclosure. And I just gotta say, obviously, if this were a male lion, this would have been a lot more violent. And typically cats, the way they kill their prey is by choking.
Hold on. Let's quickly do research. Let's see what's going on. Okay. Man mauled to death by lion after climbing over zoo wall. Damn, he wanted to train it. He just went in there without permission. I thought probably, I don't know, probably a trainer or something like that. But he wasn't even given access to this.
Bruh.
So, who can we blame now? It happened in the morning, 1st of December, 2025. That's crazy. He wasn't even given permission. He just wanted to train it. Out of nowhere. He probably has, obsessed with animals or something like that, He just loves animals. But to a point where you enter a zoo and you want to train a big lion. Huh? I don't know if I'm the slow one here, but how can you train like a grown, mature lion?
Them to death. So at least it was a cat, a big cat, because had it been any other type of animal, more violent, he could have been ripped apart like chimps, hyenas, bears. You're pretty much getting eaten alive. Yeah, very painful. And I just gotta say, like, why? The top comment here says that he had schizophrenia. Apparently, this ain't it, bro. What was he thinking? Another person said, if that was me, that lioness would have been, bruh. This is why you can never trust Instagram comments. Another person said, my granddad back told me always if an animal eats human, terrible grammar, you have to kill it because it's developed a taste for humans. I think that is true. So much like Harambe back in what was this, 2014 or some shit? 2016? This lioness by the name.
So basically their comment is saying, since it unalived, that guy, it has to be killed. Because now it's like, it knows how human tastes like. And, it'll want more of the taste. So it's not safe anymore.
Name of Leona, beautiful name, can be seen here after the fact with blood all over her coat. Now I'm gonna be honest, hopefully they don't kill her. Apparently they didn't need any tranquilizers to, get her back to normal. They didn't have to sedate her. This is a beautiful cat. She does not deserve to die for, acting on her natural impulses. If this were a zookeeper, this would have been a completely different thing, but this was a stranger entering her home and she didn't know if he posed a threat or not. So she did what she had to do. And mind you, ladies and gentlemen, lionesses, especially in nature, are very protective over their prides, their cubs, and even the lion, the head lion of the pride. They will do what they have to do to protect themselves. However, as according to this article, they say the victim, identified as 19-year-old Gerson Mikado, slipped into the big cat's pen in a shocking repeat of earlier attempts to get close to lions as a part of his obsession with becoming a trainer. Mikado, who had once tried to reach Africa as a plain stowaway in a desperate bid to pursue his dream, was known to police after repeatedly.
So, like, I might be the slow one here or something like that, but like, how things are looking for me is like, okay, cool. You have an obsession with animals and becoming an animal trainer. But why would you go to a full-blown lion though? Yeah, it might need like a young maintenance right there and there. But as a trainer, like as starting with animals, you should start with with the cuddles. You can't go to a full-blown lion and wanting to train it, especially as a beginner. That's a bit wild for me. He was 19. Where were their parents? Like, what happened? This story is crazy. RIP to the guy, for sure. But I'm just looking deep to the situation. It's like, we don't want more situations like this keep happening. A big cat, full matured lion, and you want to train it.
Breaching security in his fixation with cats. The troubled teenager who spent most of his life in care and struggled with severe mental health issues was filmed clambering down a tree inside the enclosure after scaling a 20-feet wall at the zoo in João Pessoa, northeast Brazil. And ladies and gentlemen, you can see that wall here. This is him climbing right here. I'm just now seeing this footage actually. I wanted to show you guys.
Tá? Sabe?
É isso aí, eu quero ver agora.
Like genuinely, that is crazy. So we're getting a close-up shot of him not only scaling the wall, but we're gonna see him on the other side now.
But people are just recording. They didn't stop him from climbing the wall.
And we already saw that, right? We understand what's gonna happen next, right? And here we can see the lioness after the fact.
Porque aí a gente usa esse portão aqui pra tentar afastar ela pra lá.
So yeah, she looks, kind of out of breath after doing what she had to do. And not gonna lie, at this point, if I hadn't said it already, this is Darwinism. This is natural selection. Obviously, this kid wasn't well in the head. Mental health issues, the article said. Some people said he had schizophrenia. Clearly, he wasn't mentally well, obviously. And I just gotta say, it is what it is. 19, you should know better.
Hey. Okay. He's not mentally okay, I respect that. I understand that. Probably his condition was extra. We don't know the capacity of the condition he had. But like, since like, if his mental condition is that extra, someone should be taking care of him. Someone should be around him, making sure he's good. But with the look of what's happening now, it's like no one was responsible for that. He went there, he alone, not okay mentally, and he did something. So it's like,
he really was that mentally sick, maybe he should have been in a facility under care and provision as to avoid something like this from potentially happening. Additionally, the article says that he was the son of a mother with schizophrenia, with grandparents who also had mental health issues, who lived in extreme poverty. Revealing his dreams of going to Africa to tame lions, she recalled in an agonizing social media post, "You told me you were going to take a plane to go on a safari to Africa to look after lions. I thanked God when I was warned by the airport that you had cut the fence and got inside the landing gear compartment of a Gol Airlines plane. I thanked God because they saw on the cameras that there was a teenager there before a tragedy happened." So this is his mom recounting her thoughts at the time when he was trying to be a stowaway on a plane to Africa. They also say Gerson's story is that of a boy who just wanted to get to know Africa to tame lions. By the way, I believe this is being translated from Portuguese, so it may sound weird. They also say he discovered too late that a lion isn't a domestic cat, and that we can't tame them without the right knowledge. Sadly, he wasn't sensible enough for that. City police, who had arrested Gerson several times for minor offenses including criminal damage, confirmed his Africa dream and said he had told them he would make the journey on foot after his airport security breach. City Hall officials confirmed after yesterday morning's tragedy at the Aruda Camera Park, also known as Bika or Bika, that it would be closed until the end of an ongoing investigation into the tragedy. They said in a statement, and I quote, "The man scaled a 20-feet wall and managed to get into the animal enclosure using one of the trees. According to police, it was a possible act of suicide. Although security staff tried to stop him, he acted very quickly and died as a result of the injuries the lioness inflicted on him." They say the park was then immediately closed. "We would like to express our solidarity with the family of the victim of this regrettable incident. The 26.8 hectare park where the tragedy occurred opened in 1921 is home to over 580 animal species, including elephants, monkeys, and birds, as well as a wide variety of plants." Zoo vet Tiago Neri said the lioness had been contained without the use of tranquilizer darts of weapons. So clearly she was a well-behaved lion. He said, and I quote, "She obeyed and returned to her pen, but it took some time because she was stressed and in shock." Brazilian politician Mateus Laiola, who previously served as chief of police of the Environmental Protection Department of Curitiba, said in an online post which raised eyebrows because of some of its content, and I quote, "A lioness did exactly what a lioness does. Instinct, defense, natural behavior of a wild animal. Tragedy and error begin when humans ignore basic safety limits, risk their own lives, and also endanger the life of the animal." In Joa Pessoa, a man died yesterday after invading a lioness's enclosure at Aruda Camara Park. According to the city council, he climbed a wall over 6 meters high, passed through the protective bars, used a tree for support, and entered the cage. "We stand in solidarity with the victim's family. But when respecting wildlife, it's not a choice. It is a rule. When this boundary is ignored, it is always the animal that suffers, and this cannot continue to happen." Who do you think was the animal in this situation? That's a crazy ass line, man. Ladies and gentlemen, thoughts and opinions down below about this. Based off of what I was able to see, pretty much nobody is kind of feeling sorry for this kid. They're pretty much feeling sorry for the lioness because they thought that she would be basically killed. But no, Leona is safe. She's sound, she's still in her enclosure, and she's being cared for. As for this kid, I mean, it is what it is. Mom had mental health issues, grandparents had mental health issues, he has had mental health issues, and now he's gone, you know? It's unfortunate, but thoughts and opinions down below. What do you think about this? If there's anything to learn from this situation, just stay out of the enclosure of lionesses or any other zoo animals that you're not familiar with. Should be common sense, but I guess common sense isn't as common anymore. But anyway, I'll catch all of you in the next one.
Hey man, we saw the video. It's a crazy story indeed. Yeah, I wouldn't wish all this to happen to anyone. And yeah, all I'm saying is there should be extra care for people like him if the mental thing was that extra, because it kind of seems like it was that extra. He probably wasn't aware what he was doing. Probably the first thought, he just did everything that came in his mind, I think. The parents are also not mentally okay. So I think when it comes to that, it should be more extra safety. Like literally extra safety. Like probably they somewhere in a mental, institution being taken care of, something like that, man. Because if we won't, like um, try our best as people to stay away from such situations, it's gonna keep happening. But hey, man, people are not even thinking about, the guy who passed away. They thinking about the lion. So it's kind of crazy, man. You guys can comment down below and tell me what you think about this. But this is a very painful story. I feel bad for the guy more, man. The lion, I mean, no one would just enter a zoo and just kill the lion. But I've never heard such situations. But yeah, tell me what you guys think, man. It's crazy. I'm gonna catch you on another video. Take care.